We're ready. Morning!
Good morning.
Woohoo! For everybody out in the audience, we just played Kenny Loggins' I'm Free. So if you get a chance, that's always a fun song. And no, I didn't pay him anything to play it. Sorry. We just liked it. Played it at church. Come on, guys. Hi, Tammy. I know it's funny. There's Tracy. Tracy's up from, well, let's see, she was in Las Vegas, and she was on the coast, but it's been, a year and a half now since you've been here. How nice.
Yes, amazing to be back in this space.
Yeah. But even though I can't, hey, Brock. Brock, your room is
Wave
nice
again.
and cold.
Wave again. Let's see if I can get you on camera. One more time. There she is. Okay.
And of course, Brock's watching, and I've got the room like ice cold.
Next time.
Hello.
Next time.
Yeah, we got people out today that I know that got exposed to COVID and aren't sure yet, so they're getting tested. We got exposed, me, so we had to get tested before we came in, and so.
But we're all clear.
We're all clear. Everything's fine.
It's been a weird week. Anybody else have a weird week this week? Totally weird week. Yeah.
T-shirts and
Well, you're
sweatshirts.
normal.
Yeah. Common sense is not a gift. It's a punishment because you have to deal with everyone who doesn't have it. Please keep your distance. Nothing to do with the virus. I'm just a grouch. I came, I saw, I forgot what I was doing. Retraced my steps, got lost on my way back. Now I have no idea what's going on. I kind of like that one. I might have to get one like that. So. All right.
Well, skip all that other stuff and just say I have no idea what's going on.
What's going on? Yeah, there's truth to that. What am I doing here? All right.
I don't know. What are you doing?
Well,
here?
I don't know. We have a couple patron saints by the name of George Carlin and John Lennon.
Yay, George and John.
We just have to do it. We just have to do it.
It's just-
George doesn't have any pet peeves. He has major psychotic hatreds. So.
That sounds like George.
Sounds like George. Yep. And John, I know you've heard this one before, and we say it. Everybody says it. So, life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans.
We'll be talking about
So
making
true.
plans today.
We're making plans. We have an expo coming up, so we are making plans.
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah. In fact, Tracy had volunteered to be a reader.
She's going to come all the way from Yachats, Oregon, to help us. How wonderful is that? So there's plenty of volunteer opportunities, I can assure you.
Yes, there is. 6 little stories that have lots of meanings. Lots of meaning. Once all villagers decided to pray for rain. On the day of prayer, all the people gathered, but only one boy came with an umbrella. That's faith. When you throw babies in the air, they laugh because they know you're going to catch them. That's trust. Every night we go to bed without any assurance of being alive in the morning, but still we set the alarms to wake up. That's hope.
Yep.
We plan big things for tomorrow in spite of zero knowledge of the future. That's confidence. We see the world suffering, but still we get married, have children. That's love. On an old man's shirt, probably someone like me, was written a sentence, I'm not 80, I'm sweet 16 with 64 years of experience. That's attitude. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, I'm not going to do any of those. I just
Not okay.
just changed my mind.
Yeah, well, we can do that. I've changed my mind.
The first toilet ever shown on television.
I know
appeared-
this one. I know this one.
Yeah?
Well, the first one ever heard.
No.
Oh, I don't know
Wait.
shown. I don't
The
know
first
shown.
one shown, 1957, Leave It to Beaver.
Wow.
Now, the first one heard,
All in the Family.
Archie Bunker.
Archie Bunker.
Yep, that's right. And the first couple in bed together.
They used to have those twin beds
Dick Van Dyke Show.
set up on TV.
No, they had twin
Nope,
beds.
had twin beds.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Flintstones.
Racy for children. Oh my goodness, I'm so shocked.
Bedrock, so.
Yeah, well, there you go. Bad rock.
Wrinkles
That's
should
going to be in your head. From
Town of Bad-
Town of Bad
Stupid
Rock.
trivia.
Wrinkles should merely indicate where smiles have been. Mark Twain. That love is all there is. Excuse me. That love is all there is all we know of love. Emily Dickinson.
Yes, Emily.
Thinking well is wise. Planning well, wiser. Doing well, wisest and best of all. And
Think, plan, do.
Albert Schweitzer. When I heard the church bells ring, I thought I heard the voice of God.
That's going to make me cry.
I know. Stop. My dogs did the same thing. Very good. All right. The luck of having talent is not enough. One must also have a talent for luck. Sometimes. Yep.
We're going to talk about that today.
Yeah. Reading is sometimes an ingenious device for avoiding thought. So is TV. All right.
Not that that's a bad thing.
Nope.
Sometimes you need to just give yourself a break.
Well, you do. And
Shut up, head. I'm going to read something and then I'll...
thank you, Roy. We're still reading on this thing.
He's soaking this for all it's worth, I tell you.
When a rich businessman began to choke on a fishbone at a restaurant, a doctor seated nearby sprang up and performed the Heimlich maneuver and saved the man's life. "Thank you," said the businessman. "Please, I insist on paying you. Just name the fee." "Okay," said the doctor. "How about half of what you'd have offered when the bone was still stuck in your throat?" I like that one. I had to read it twice to figure out what the heck they were saying. Then I had to say it different. So, I intend to live forever. So far, so good. So,
I want to live forever.
you want to live forever?
No.
Yeah. Well, I would if I knew what I know now and I'm healthy like I am now.
So healthy, wealthy, and wise?
Kind of, yeah. A blind man visits Texas. When he gets to the hotel room, he feels the bed. Wow, this bed is big. Everything's big in Texas, says the bellhop. Actually, I haven't read this one. This is dangerous. The man heads downstairs to the bar, settles onto a huge bar stool, orders a beer. A mug is placed between his hands. Wow, these drinks are huge. Everything's big in Texas, says the bartender. After downing a few, the blind man asks where the bathroom is. Second door to the right, says the bartender. The blind man, yeah, could be. The blind man heads for the bathroom, but accidentally opens the door that leads to the swimming pool and falls in.
Oh no.
Popping his head up from the underwater, he flails his arms and shouts, "Don't flush! Don't flush!" I like that. That was funny.
You
That
need
was
those
funny.
little clown horns.
Yeah. Wah, wah, wah. So. All right.
And I'm supposed to follow that, right?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Whatever.
Anything else I'm doing besides getting out of here?
Oh, I have no idea, Phil.
If you don't, I don't either.
You know, that's why it's a God thing.
Okay.
I just suit up, show up, speak up. Half the time I don't know what's going on.
You know, where else are you going to get a mixture of God's words and things that are inspired by God?
We're going to talk about inspiration and insight today. Boy, you
I'm
were
sorry.
just locked and loaded today.
Okay. Okay, bye.
See ya.
We love you, Phil.
So, how many people here have a goal? Something coming up. Awesome. Some of us are kind of like, oh no, I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, we've been in survival mode because of COVID and all that stuff. We've been in survival mode for a long time. And so when we're in survival mode, it's just one foot in front of the other, and we just do the best we can. And then when we start to get to a place where we can breathe again, we can look up and look out and go, okay, what next? What do I want to do next? And a lot of us have worked really hard on some of our manifesting stuff that we do. Anybody have experience with manifesting where you put it out there and then it comes through? Yeah. How many times have we manifested something or put something out there and it's different than what we thought it was, but it was better? Got some hands on that one too. So how do we tap into that? How do we do that? How do we get that? Because that's being in the zone. That's getting this connection that we're looking for. Because when we're connected in, then we have insight. And when we have insight, then we can follow that. And when we follow that insight, we're led to right where we need to be, doing right what we need to do. And it's usually wonderful. But sometimes we short circuit ourselves to do that. Sometimes we get caught up in fear. We get caught up in worry. We get caught up in stress. We get caught up in other people's opinions. We get caught up in our own expectations, right? So Beth, bless her soul, came up with this little charts. I don't have copies for you. I apologize. We'll make that happen next time. I just got this yesterday. And there's signs that Spirit gives us that helps us know if we're not in center. Because again, if we're centered, if we're in balance, if we're connected in, we're going to get those insights. We're going to be led. If we're out of balance, we aren't going to be able to notice or sense or feel those nudges. How many people have ever had a nudge? Doesn't it feel wonderful? How does it feel when you don't follow them? Not so good. How does it feel when you do follow them? Feels really good. Feels really good. Why do we not follow them? Because we get caught up in fear. We get caught up in worry. We get caught up in mistrust. All of those things. So, how to tell if your heart, mind, and spirit are not in balance. So, I'm going to read a few of these. I want you just to pay attention. See what grabs you. See what grabs you. Are you irritated by life's challenges? That's a big one, isn't it? Sometimes. That means we're out of center. Means we're out of center. Are you unsure of your next steps? Yeah. Well, we're out of center. Why is that? Because if we're in balance, then we're open and we're trusting and we can follow. And so it's a little subtle stuff. It's just a slight shift in perspective. Are your fears holding you back? Do you find yourself efforting? Efforting is this, anguishing is this, working really hard, spinning your wheels at stuff. That's efforting. We all do that, don't we? Do you feel your truths are not being respected? Then you might be out of balance. Feeling shame and regret? Overly critical of yourself? That's an out of balance thing. I'm sorry. There's people in this audience that are with people they know, and somebody just got the elbow. Distressed by things out of your control. Holding on to old toxic energy. Those are signs that your point of center is out of balance. So what are some signs that your point of center is in balance? Dancing through life's challenges. And dancing means sidestepping some things, and sometimes it means going forward, partnering up with people that are supportive. There's lots to that. Courage, willingness, and peace for your journey. You got those? Then you're in balance. You know what's really funny is 1 second I can be in balance and the next second I'm out. The next second I'm in balance and then the next second I'm not. Yeah. So it's just returning, coming back to that point of balance. Are you open to new opportunities? You're in balance. Stepping into your greater purpose. Oh, that's scary, isn't it? You know, it's so easy to think that we're just here to just survive and we're just trucking along and we don't matter. That's hooey. I call hooey, big time hooey on that. We're here for a bigger purpose. You're here for a bigger purpose. And by having a sense of that, that acknowledges to you that you're balanced. Do you feel awakened power, peace, and serenity? That's balance. Growing and receiving blessings, that's being in balance. Wholeness and grace. How about your creative self is online? Creative? Feeling creative? And that creativity doesn't have to mean you're the greatest artist in the world. That creativity can be just finding a new way of doing something. That can just be gardening, watching plants grow. That's creative. And here's a big one. Are you a blessing to yourself and others? Are you a blessing to yourself and others? Yikes. If you are, then your point of center is in balance. So, how to overcome that? How to overcome that? If you're irritated by life's challenges, ask to be shown the beauty of the moment. We need a handout of this, don't we, Beth? If you're unsure of your next steps, engage in intentional presence. Check in throughout the day to see if you're present. In a state of intentional presence, notice signs and guidance being sent to you. When we're centered, we get those nudges. We get that. I'm not going to read all of this. They're powerful stuff. I'll develop a handout for you, and we'll get this to you next time. So what I want to talk to you about today has to do with goal setting, and it has to do with utilizing this balanced perspective in order to set goals. I gave everybody should have a note card, and a pen. And if you didn't get one, they're in the back by the communion stuff. So I want you to write your goal. And maybe your goal is finding a new goal. But I'd like you to just write a new goal, or write your goal as best you can. And here's the thing about a goal. A goal is this open statement, because I can't tell you the number of times that I had a goal and I wrote it down as specific as I could. And you know, the more detail you get, it really has its value. But sometimes having it specific is hindering, because God has a bigger idea than what we could ever imagine. So write your goal down. My goal is to open my own business. My goal is to, what are some of your goals?
Get my finances in order.
Get my finances in order. Oh, that's a lovely one. That's a good one. Now, what are other goals? What are other goals? Learn to swim. Learn to paint. Learn to dance. What? You got one?
Learn to be happy.
Learn to be happy. Because happiness is a skill. Joy is a skill. Oftentimes we think we have to have proper circumstances. Well, if this happens, then I'll be happy. Nope. Happiness and joy is a state of being that we can acquire, that we can learn, that we can create for ourselves. What are some other goals you got?
I lost myself with COVID, working from home, so I want to connect with myself again and God.
Okay. So she said she had disconnected because of COVID and working from home. So now she wants to reconnect with herself and with God. Now I'd like you to use the word I desire, or I am willing to, or I'm ready to. And please avoid words like should, have to, must, need to. And the reason I ask you to do that is because when we go into need, have to, you know, that shoulda, coulda, woulda, oughta, gotta, must, have to's, always, and nevers, that sets us up for failure. That sets us up for duty. That's gotta be hard. I must do this. Okay, well, it's good to have that imperative and to be driven to do something, but not from a place of stress. Unstress ourselves. That's not balanced. That's not balanced. Okay, everybody got a goal? What's your biggest doubt about achieving that? What's your biggest doubt? I don't know enough. I'm not skilled enough. I'm too old, too young. I don't have the heart for that. Nobody will help me. What's your biggest doubt? Yes.
Ability to achieve that goal.
I don't have the ability to achieve that goal. I don't have the ability to achieve that goal. What are some other doubts you have?
Time.
I don't have time. I don't have time to do that. You're gonna just crack up when we get to the other part. What's your biggest fear? What's your biggest fear? Sometimes our biggest fear is achieving the goal we set. If I do connect with God and myself, then I'm going to be accountable. I'm going to be responsible. Then I'm going to have to grow up. If I do learn to if I learn to dance or I learn to swim, then I got to get out there and do it. What's your biggest fear? What's your biggest fear? No one will like me if I do. What else? Some of you just don't have any of the fears, but just practice. Just play with the game. Yes, ma'am.
Also, my goal is to work in a dental office with like-minded people so that we can all work and enjoy and love together.
Right. What's your biggest doubt about that?
My doubt is that several offices have already failed my expectations.
Oh, so
So I'm like, is there really an office out there like that? And there has to be, right?
but that's your doubt. You doubt there is one.
Yeah.
Because evidence thus far has proven to
So
you.
far, I haven't found that niche.
So far, you
I
haven't
wanna
found
find
any
my
of that.
home, a dental home that I can work in till I
Right.
retire.
So she wants to work in a dental office, and up to now, that her expectation or her hope of having a family environment where people get along and support one another, that has proven
Hasn't happened yet.
has not happened yet. Okay? What's your biggest fear? You got your fear down? Ponder that. Maybe you're not afraid. Some people just aren't. Here's a hard one. You ready for this one? What's your biggest excuse? Sometimes our biggest fear is our biggest excuse. What's our biggest excuse? It can't happen. I'm not gifted enough. I don't know enough. I can't do it.
It's hard.
It's too hard. It's too hard. Only special people could do that. I'm not special. Only blessed people get to do that. I'm not blessed. What's your biggest excuse? Okay? Now let's look at those. Let's look at them from a different perspective, shall we? Because that's the uncentered part of us talking. And the centered part of us has a whole different perspective. So before we look at that, I have an exercise for us to do. Dancing around. Okay. I need a volunteer of somebody who has never balanced a feather before to come up and do this with me. You've never come? Oh, okay. I'll let you do it next. So come on up. We'll get you. Okay. Actually, come on up. I have two.
Both have fun.
Yes.
Nice.
That's good.
Ready. Do I get a tickler or what?
Well, that's awesome. Okay, just do your best to balance that feather on the palm of this way. Balance that feather on the palm of your hand.
Oh, wow.
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 Cool. Okay, so there's a trick to it.
Okay.
You figured out the trick. The trick is don't look at the feather in your hand. Look at the tip.
Focus.
Focus, focus. Focus on the tip. Not on your hand.
Short.
No, you're not. No, you're not. What happens is the body will automatically adjust. I'm not looking at my hand. I would never know how to adjust that quickly. If I look at my hand, I can't do it.
Try not looking at it.
Try not looking at it at all.
Yeah, feel it in your hand.
I don't think I could do that. Let me see.
Energy. Almost there.
You do. See how when you look at the tip, your focus is on the goal. The goal is to keep that tip of the feather up.
And this feather's broken too. Better breaking it.
going short enough? Look at the tip. There you go, there you go, there you go.
Yay.
See, your body will make these little adjustments quickly, effortlessly. See how easy that feels? Anybody else want to try?
Come on, try it.
Try it, it's easy. Come on, Andrew.
You want to come up and try it too? I know you do. Come on.
Come on,
You gotta be
yeah.
able to
He
show
can do
her up.
everything. I'm pretty
Come
sure
on.
he can do it, no problem.
Yeah,
He always does
Here,
everything.
this one's yours.
Okay.
Thanks for participating.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Get the camera. There you go. Watch the tip, watch the tip. Get it started. There you go, there you go. See?
Sometimes you have to go in circles
I'm
to get
chasing my
balance.
tail.
Exactly. Come on, Patrick.
What occurs to me is that you
Come on
can,
up, come on
you
up.
can you can do it in little small incremental movements, or you can do it in really big ones like this.
Yeah, it doesn't
It's-
matter.
It doesn't matter, but you're right. If you're
Do that on
focusing,
camera. Would you do that on
Oh,
the camera,
okay,
please?
yeah.
I know.
see if I can get you guys.
That's why
All right. So one method is to do it gently and subtly and maintain the balance,
Oops.
right? Without much thought to it. And then sometimes you can do it radical movements and still maintain the balance. That's a lot more fun. That's usually my
It's
style.
radical. Yes,
Yeah.
you are kind of radical.
Yeah, but I still got balance.
Yes, you did. So it can look any way you want it to. Thank you guys for
Yeah.
showing us the techniques here. So there are things that we cannot do if we're not in balance. We can't do it. And we get better. The more you do, the better you get. So if you've never balanced before and you try, it may not be as good as you'd like it to be. Keep at it. Do it again. Try it again. So we're going to balance. I want you to bring yourself into your point of center. And then we're going to ask ourselves some questions. Deep breath in and exhale. Another deep breath in and exhale. Nothing matters but right here, right now, this moment. Another deep breath in and exhale. Now, when you look at your doubt from a place of balance, what does your soul tell you about your doubt? I don't have the skill. Maybe that's your doubt. But then, in this place of being balanced, it's like, I don't have that skill yet. You feel the shift? It shifts into possibilities and hope. And out of expectations and out of that fear. So speaking of fear, now look at your fear. What did you tell yourself was your fear? I'm afraid I'll fail. I'm afraid people won't like me. So from a place of balance, what does this balanced state of being tell you about that fear? I'm afraid I'll fail. What if I do? What if I don't? It's worth it. I'm willing. And your greatest excuse. From this place of balance, what does your balanced state of being tell you about your excuse? I'm too old. No, I'm not. I may be old, but I still got some fight left in me. I don't have the skill. I haven't learned it yet. I can still learn. I don't have the strength. I could get stronger. See how your state of being, your state of mind shifts when we're in this balanced state of awareness. Now, from this balanced state of awareness, I'd like you to look at your goal again. And now I want you to look at your goal with feelings. How would you feel if you attained that goal? Oh, if I had my finances in balance, I would feel so much more relaxed. Bring relaxation into your being right here, right now, and the finances will fall in line. How would you feel if you learned that new skill, I'd feel proud of myself. I'd feel excited about that. Bring that excitement right here, right now. And the result will follow. You want this job of working with a cooperative office? Surround yourself with cooperative people, and maybe that's something that you're going to create for yourself. Be in the harmonic of harmony. And that allows other people to be who they are, and you're in harmony with yourself. And from that place of harmony, the world will open up for you in the way that's just right for you. How does that feel? How does that feel? Better? Now, one last thing, visualization. Then we're going to do a guided meditation. I know a lot of visualization today. So, I'd like you to visualize yourself right here, right now, just as you are. Okay? That's pretty cool. You know how you are and know how you feel. Okay, that balanced state of being, that's how it is. Now, there's life circumstances that are kind of disruptive, perhaps. Not your ideal, not what you'd like it to be. Not meeting up to your goal. Okay? And then we created that goal visual of how it would feel to have that goal. Can you see that? Can you feel that? Can you experience that? Now, ask to be shown your next step. What's my next step? You don't have to like it. But what's your next step? Is that next step a little different than the one you had been expecting yourself to do? Sometimes when we're expecting ourselves to meet this goal, and I've got to do this, I've got to effort about it, I've got to struggle out, I've got to make myself do that. But when we're in the state of balance, it could be effortless. It could be effortless. And it's like, oh, I never thought of that. Who knew? What's your next step? Somebody tell me, what's your next step? Yeah.
Get it down on paper, so instead of living in my head with lots of ideas where it kind of swirls around, if I can keep it there, then I don't have to address it. It just remains as a dream. But what I was told is to get it organized on paper.
You might want to do a dream board.
I've got dream boards, yes. They're very, very helpful.
Very helpful. And with a new perspective, a new state of mind, then your dreams might be different. What you put up on your dream board might be totally different. Who else? Somebody else share your your goal and your next step. Mary Lou, you want to share?
My goal was to get my finances in order, and what I heard was allow it to happen. You're on the right path. Get that.
Awesome. How does that feel?
That feels great.
And all that efforting and struggling, is it gone, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 Because a lot of times when we're efforting about something, we create a stress. And when we have that stress, then we do stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, buy something I don't need, or I'll.
Something always comes up.
Something always comes up. Isn't that the truth of it?
Yes.
Phil and I have spent a lot of time in our lives financially challenged, let's just say. And every time we would get it together, get in that place of centeredness, all of a sudden we'd get like a refund on something we didn't even know we needed a refund on or had due to us. Or he somehow, like a car would get sold and it would get a really great price for it. Or someone would gift us something, exactly what we needed. Remember one day my washing machine was going and you could tell, uh-oh. You know the uh-oh, it's not working too well. Somebody called me and said, hey, I got a brand new washer and dryer. You want my old set? Out of the blue. Yep, I did. And we're so grateful for that. But being in a state of fear, every time I found myself getting fearful, that washing machine made worse noise. So I couldn't allow myself to get afraid. I couldn't. It was just. Mm-mm. So one day, Phil and I gotta tell you this crazy story. So Phil and I, things were not good. So he had changed his career, and it was a commission only. So the first few months, it takes time to build up a clientele, bottom line. And we were to the point where I wrote that last check for the house payment. That was the last money we had to write a check for the house payment. And so we were gonna either miss next month or whatever. So Phil takes his car out. He always has a play car that he's working on, wrenching on stuff. This one was a Porsche, an old classic. So he took it out, took it for a drive, parked it in the driveway. He just, for some reason, I'm gonna just park it in the driveway for a bit. I don't know, maybe I need to do so. He didn't know really why, but he did. Usually he drives it right into the garage. Comes back out a few minutes later and that thing's smoking. It's on fire. So he calls the fire department. Fortunately, at that time they lived like 2 blocks from us, so they were right there, put the thing out. I think we still have a piece of what is that metal, Phil, that's magnesium, big glob of magnesium that came off of the engine. So he pulls it out and puts it on the street. Next morning he's out with a cup of coffee, looking at this poor car. God, he had just gotten it right where he wanted it. Holding his cup of coffee, and oh my gosh, go to heck, that thing started smoking again. Had to call the fire department one more time. So, had to get rid of it. He had, fortunately, some really good insurance on that thing. And we lived on that insurance for 6 months while he got his business going. Did he miss his car? Yeah, he did. But you know, Phil's the kind of guy that once he gets something perfect, he's ready to move on to the next thing. So it gave him an opportunity to let that go and move on to the next thing. What was really funny is our kids bought it from, what's that called, Phil?
Insurance company.
Yeah, so they totaled it, so the kids bought it for a song, and then they resold it, and they made money. So it was win-win-win-win-win all the way around. So
Actually made a lot of money.
he made all.
I didn't think about it.
Yeah, he was so depressed about the car, he didn't even think about buying it back and reselling it, but because he was like, done. I was perfect, I can't do it anymore. But anyway, so somebody else in New York now has this car that they love. But if we had stayed in that state of fear, who knows what would have happened? But as it was, we were so blessed, so blessed. We were too broke to afford fear. But that positive state of being, that gratitude state of being, opened doors for us. And opened doors for other people to be kind to us. And allowed us to be in a place where we could receive. How beautiful is that? We created that state of being before the actual event happened. We knew we were safe, we knew we were okay, it was all gonna be good, we had no idea how. And if we had to sell the house and move and do something, well, we could do that. But whatever we did, it was going to be okay. So I want to read you a Bible verse. Several, actually. I'll read it up. Counsel is mine, sound wisdom. I am understanding. Power is mine. Now the word understanding is insight. This is Proverbs 8:14. Proverbs has got a lot of really cool stuff. So what it's saying is when I have insight, this balanced insight, I have power. When we don't have this balanced insight, what have we got? Fear, doubt, and excuses. Our choice, what we want to do with that. Forsake your folly and live. Fear, doubt, excuses, that's folly, that's silliness. Proceed in the way of understanding. Proceed in the way of insight. That's the way to go. We could go that way, right? How much better is it to get wisdom than gold? And to get insight is to be chosen over silver. Get it first. Get that insight first. And then all the physical stuff will come. Then that physical stuff can come. A plan in the heart of a man is like deep water. Your plan within you is like deep water. What can you see deep water? No, not unless you have one of those sonic things. But a man of insight draws it out. Your insight will help you draw your own wisdom out and will help you draw out other people's wisdom as well. Last one. Well, last one for today. Buy truth and do not sell it. Get wisdom and instruction and understanding. When we have that, we got it all. Because then we're open to being guided. And when we have that guidance, we are unstoppable. Unstoppable. How does that feel? Doesn't that feel a little different? Okay, let's do a quick guided meditation. Blah, 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 way too much. So, Mr. Phil, if you'd adjust the lights, please, sir. Another deep breath in and exhale. Allowing yourself just to be here, be present, be now. Notice your own breathing. Notice your own body. Notice the clothing on your body. Notice where you're sitting. Notice your feet, if they're touching the ground. If you've got your feet propped up at home, notice that you're sitting. Notice your sitter. And now notice the top of your head. There is a connection point at the very top of your head. And if you become aware of it, it expands. It's always open. But it will expand and will allow a deeper connection to spirit, deeper connection to divine. This blessed connection, when we open up to it, allows the living light of love to flow to us freely. And that living light of love can touch our mind, our subconscious, our emotional body, and our physical body. Let this living light of love now touch the discernment centers that are over the eyebrows, the third eye that's in the middle of the forehead, your eyes, and the occipital lobes. This is all part of that perception circuit. When we're caught up in our own stuff, we cannot perceive divine guidance. Being connected in, we can feel this divine guidance. This will allow us to see and perceive. They're not exactly the same thing. And from this perception, then we can have insight, wisdom, and understanding. Now let more and more of that living light of love touch your ears and your mouth and your throat. This is your truth connection. You can speak your truth. Know your truth, understand your truth, and being able to honor your truth with the words that you say to yourself, with the words that you say to the universe. If other people don't hear your truth, it's okay. They have their own truth about stuff. Just let it be what it is. You don't have to change their mind, change their way of thinking. Just honor your own truth. And now let that living light of love flow into your shoulders. We carry a ton of stress in our shoulders, do we not? Roll your shoulders, release that stress. Energy cannot flow when we're all bogged down with tension. So allow that to release, allow that to flow. And as you do, then that living light of love flows down your arms and into your hands, giving you opportunity to do worthy work. Anything you put your hands to do is worthy of your attention, is worthy of your care, is worthy of your love. Bringing more and more of that living light of love and let it touch your heart space. And from your heart space, let it go into every system, every tissue, every organ, every cell, down into your cells, down into your DNA. Letting your DNA relax and expand. Letting your DNA feel joy, feel peace, feel abundance, feel blessed. And this sets up a vibration that permeates your entire being and begins to vibrate out into your energy field. And feeling filled with this living light of love and feeling this living light of love surrounding us, we're going to take a little brief walk in our imagination. Allow yourself to find your way to the Crystal Palace. Maybe you've been there before in your imagination. Maybe you've been there before in your awareness. Maybe this is new for you. The first thing you notice is there's steps leading up to the main gate, main doorway. Notice those steps, how beautiful they are. They're crystal. Every step you take hits a harmonic on that crystal step. And you hear a beautiful tone. This is the tone of your sacred path. Each step that you take will resonate through your whole being. And as you take that final step, the doors to this crystal palace open. And notice, do they open outward towards you or do they open inward? Just notice, whichever way you're experiencing may have spiritual significance for you. As you step into this palace, you see it's beautifully lined with beautiful artwork, flowers in beautiful vases, and the floor is made up of beautiful different crystalline structures. And there are tables with beautiful pieces of art. The tables are made of crystal. And everything has a bright, clear resonance. And as you walk through this main entrance area, you're going to allow yourself to move into like a living area. And there'll be comfortable chairs to sit in this area. Allow yourself to be seated. As you sit down and relax and just feel the beauty of the presence of this space, you're joined by a being of light. And this being of light has a gift for you. Perhaps it's a word, or a thought, or a feeling, or some symbolic object. Receive that gift. And know that it is a gift to assist you on your journey right now. And even though we would love to stay in this place for a lot longer, our time here has come to an end. It's shortened up. But you have a gift to give this spirit being. Whether it's a word, or a thought, or a feeling, a hug, or a symbolic object. Give that gift now. This creates a beautiful exchange of energy. And with that beautiful exchange of energy, creates a structure for your life. Creates a blessing for your life. And for just a moment, the spirit being is going to sit here with you. And in this moment, time expands. And you will feel as if you have been with this spirit being for an hour or more. You will feel cherished, loved, appreciated, and guided. And now allow yourself to say your goodbyes. Stepping back from this living area, back into the main entrance, noticing all the beautiful things that are here for you to experience. Allow yourself to find your way back through the doorway. Close this behind you. Taking each step deliberately down the stairways. Listening to the beautiful tones that resonate ideally for you. That sets you up for a resonance of fulfilling your goals. And allow yourself to find your way back here, back into this time and space, back into the here and now. Taking a deep breath in, exhale, wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. And we had to do that really quickly, so I'm going to let you sit with that. Mr. Phil and I are going to do communion. Then we'll get on with it. Gratitude. I may not have time for that today. We'll see. So join us in prayer if you would, please. Loving Spirit of Light, thank you for the goals that you have gifted to us, that you have set in our hearts. Thank you for guiding us to fulfillment of those goals. Walk with us in all things. These things we pray in the name of the Ascended One, Jesus. Amen. Here, I mean for him. Here, my love. Got it started for me. Phil's got a bubble.
It just popped.
Are you going to be okay now?
Yeah.
Okay. Join us in prayer again, please. Loving Spirit of Light, as we drink this in, help us to drink in life. All of it. Even the times when we're unbalanced, help us to just drink it in and notice it and be able to shift effortlessly. And the times when we are balanced, bless us and walk with us and guide us. These things we pray in the name of the Ascended One, Jesus. Amen. Do we have a volunteer to do the basket? They're right here, honey.
Oh.
Volunteer, volunteer.
Guess I'll do it.
Oh, we got a volunteer.
Oh.
please give. If you are here to give love. And thank you for every single one of you for being here today.
Thank
Well
you.
said. Thank you very much.
So how do I just,
Oh, just
start?
one side, one on each side.
Thank you. Well, I got to see our angel picture too. That was a good backdrop for you, Sarah. It was the angel. Sweet. Have a couple of gratitudes. Thank you all for the prayers this past week. So grateful. Prayers are powerful. We have over 50 people at our prayer warriors. So there's a little box out front if you want to write a prayer down and put it in the box. Then the person that's in charge of that comes and distributes those via email and text.
And we
for us
have the
to do.
box outside.
We even have a box outside. Prayers for Arlene and family as they bury their beloved.
I know, I'm sure.
Who wrote this? The Arlene one? Well, as they bury their beloved. So yes, having people pass is really a challenge, is it not? Any questions on your guided meditation? Or comments or whatever? We'll be as brief as we can. Beth, you've got someone from online. Oh, awesome. Thank you very much for doing that. Let me get this one and I'll get that. Yes?
My gift was a hematite necklace. It was a heart, and there was hematite chunks all the way around it.
Awesome. So hematite is a beautiful stone. It's really shiny. So hematite absorbs negativity and reflects it away from you. So this is protection, spirit protection wherever your work leads you. What did you give in return?
It turned out to be a white feather.
A white feather. So feathers can often be, they used to be used for writing. So this could be words that you write. It feels to me like this is saying for you to write down your goals, or write down that blessing, and let the angels have them. White feathers often indicate that angelic presence is in attendance. Goosebumps. Love it. Okay, you want to pass the microphone?
I got a golden harp.
A golden harp. Okay, so, boy, there's a, what was the old fairy tale that had the golden harp in it? I don't remember. Say again?
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Was it Jack? Oh, it was Jack and the Beanstalk. Okay. I knew there was something. So let me ask on your behalf what that is. Oh, that's about following your dreams, following your goals. Play the tune that's in your heart. And let your heart carry you. Make sense?
Thank you.
Welcome. Right behind you. Miss Beth.
This is Terry's, and she had a castle that was pink tourmaline, and the doors and gates opened in, and she gave an heirloom tomato.
Okay, so let's take that back a little bit. So her steps were pink. Her castle was pink tourmaline. Okay. Pink is that unconditional love, and tourmaline usually has variegated stripes in it. Does it not? If I'm remembering it correctly. So this is about your love has different layers to it, and not everyone can see the layers. So share what you can, and the primary layer is loving oneself. Loving oneself. The door's opened in. This is allow yourself to move into that sacred space, that sacred awareness of yourself. And the heirloom tomato is about receiving this blessing. I'm sorry, that's giving you feedback. Who knows? Well, you're right under the amplifier there, that's why. So this heirloom tomato is about the value, your ancestral values. You know who you are. You came from good stock, and you've got lots to give. There's nothing better than a great heirloom tomato. It has such good flavor. It's so beautiful, and it's strong, but it's soft and mushy on the inside. So just notice that you're stronger than you think you are. And notice that you're mushier than you think you are. And be a blessing to others. Did she give anything back, did she say?
It doesn't say.
Okay. Anything
And,
else?
Allie, she received a rose quartz music box.
Play your own tune, honey. Do it your way. And do it with love. When you walk in love and you're doing it from your own pathway, you'll do what you want to do. It doesn't have to look like everybody else's stuff. It gets to be unique to you. Follow your own song, your own soul song. Any other comments or questions that we have? Do we have one over here? Question, comment? Okay, you can always chat with me after services, and I'll help you as best I can to discern what your gifts and whatever was. Oh, I did want to tell you that if your doorway's opened out towards you, it's time to open up yourself and let the world see who you really are. If they opened inward, this is an inner journey. Take steps inward to really, really find your balance. Find the truth of who you are. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Am I forgetting something, Phil? Yes, Carol?
What if it was open? There was no doors to open? Or...
Okay, hers, no doors to open. It was just already open. This is letting you know that you have a good balance of being open and sharing your love with others and doing that internal work. So this is a really good sign you're in balance. Good for you. May not feel like that all the time, but spiritually speaking, you got it. You got it. So trust that. Am I forgetting something? What am I doing? Phil doesn't know. I don't know.
Circle up.
Well, let's do the energy circle for the people on.
Expo.
Expo is coming up April. October 9th and 10th. More information to come on that. We only have 7 booths left. So if you know somebody that would like a booth, I think we're looking for someone that sells product. So if you know of anything, let us know.
And of course, volunteers.
We are going to be really focusing on that in a couple of weeks to come. More information on that. So let's do an energy connection, an energy circuit for the people online, and then we'll close that off and do our energy circle, okay? So you're already connected in energy into your heart space. Go to your left hand to right hand. I'm backwards for the people here in the world. And as you do that, the energy between your hands begins to build. This is not your energy. This is divine energy that you have access to. So allow yourself to receive this energy. Allow it to build. This is for you. This is divine energy, full of love, full of light, full of hope, full of joy, and full of balance. Can you feel that energy? Now bring it into your heart space. May your life be a prayer. God bless. We'll see you next time. Take care.